Rescue polar bears, data and temperature, what is my opinion on the game? First of all, hats off to the designer for taking on such a serious but very important issue of global heating and the extinction of polar bears. But let's take a look at the components first. These components are made of some kind of clay and they are adorable and cute. Take a look here, the mama bear, the papa bear and the little cub. I just love it. It has such a great appeal to me and I think to a lot of gamers. When I need to save them from the ice floating tiles, it becomes personal because I kind of fall in love with all these cute little polar bears. The cardboard quality is great too. There are some cuts or misprints, so you can see there's a little white stripe here, but who cares? It's not important when you play the game. The little ships are made of cardboard too. You can see this it doesn't stick, but I can just glue it, no problem. And you make them yourself. When you get the game, you just punch them out and form the ship like this, and it's pretty okay, no problem. And you can use them, and they look. It's a nice artwork we have in this game. No doubt about it. Somewhere on the game you can see there's just both the Chinese and the English, but no problem. It just gives it a little feel of not being a native English-speaking game. No problem for me. I'm not an English native speaker, anyways. Yeah, so and another thing, these cardboards for the ships, I love them. They're great. You have the phases of every turn listed up here and what you need to do, and you have ready here you can see the speed and the cargo hold and all the add-ons for each boats that are, they're all individual, and you have it here right on nearby when you play it. All these cards are great for support, and the position card, it works too. It works great. You can, it's actually a pretty good idea with this flag in the middle of the game in order to see, to count up here 1 2 3, okay, 1 2 3, it's up here. So that's pretty good components. What about the gameplay? Well, at first the gameplay can seem a little confusing or complex, but actually it's not. You know, the setup, if you just put out the tiles, turn them around, take off the water, you'll just have your playing board ready to play. And if you use the technique I did, putting on couples on the blue ones, putting cups on all the others, and just fill up the families and the moms, then it's pretty fast to set up the game. The game play itself, it's pretty simple. You take your turn, you do what you want to do, and then you roll the blue die and the red die. Pretty simple. There's one thing that's a little complicated when I read the manual here, and that's the part where you just have to flip the page, where you have to interpret this algorithm of what's happening when you roll the blue die. Are there a male and a female, and will they, or are they not, and are there cubs, will they grow up, will they reproduce, or what will happen here? It was a little complicated for me to figure this out, but the good thing is that it's actually pretty intuitive what's going on. If you have a mom and dad, they get kids. If you have kids, they grow up, and all that stuff. So actually, when you played the game, you know, the first time after the first play, it's easy. It's just so intuitive what's going on, but the algorithm is a little complex to comprehend. Because of the setup of all the tiles here, every game will be completely different, because you just play on different playing boards, and that's so great because the variation of the game is very, very high. And if you mix that with all these different ships you can use, there's a brown and a gray one too, so you have 5 ships, so you can just mix and match as you like, and some of them are good for some things and other ships are good for other things, and that's just great. Some of them are slow, can take a lot of polar bears, some of them are fast, can only take 1. That's just great. It's very, very versatile. I love that. Another thing I love about the game is that you need to save the polar bears, and that's a thing you really want to do because your helicopters will run out very fast. But if you don't focus on the data tokens, you will lose the game. You simply need to pick up a lot of data tokens fast for 2 reasons. The first reason is time is running fast, time is running out. You need to pick up as many of them as fast as you can. And the other thing, and that's pretty neat, I'll just push the board a little bit so you can see it better, is that when you go every third data token you get an upgrade. And the upgrade is so important because you can just add a lot of extra functionalities to your ships and boats, and it will be so important. For instance, the red one, if you upgrade it by 1, then you have 4 actions, 1 more, 5 actions, and it's essential to get these upgrades in order to win the game. So you're torn between saving the polar bears and getting all this data as fast as possible. And let me tell you one thing here, this game is not easy. Maybe I'm not the smartest kid on the block, but it's pretty hard. It's a pretty hard game. Co-op games should be hard. It shouldn't be easy to win them, but this one is extra hard. I think there could be a little problem with that, because I think these cute polar bears will appeal to maybe younger children, and on a tactical strategical level, this game is, I think, a little too hard for smaller kids. But no problem. You could just, you know, like they have this 2-player game where you just need to get 15 data tokens, and if you are playing with smaller kids, well, just make the game easier. It's easy to do, so you could do that. Another thing is there is a lot of randomness in the game. If you see these alert tokens, it's totally random which ones you pick. You can get some cards, you can get some upgrades that will allow you to turn 3 of them around, so you can watch them and take your pick and which one you want to choose. But most of the time you have no control over which tiles you will pick here and how that will happen. And there's a lot of randomness in where all these data tile goes, and where if the die here, it can roll, you know, a 7 3 times in a row if you're unlucky, and that would be really bad for you. So there's a lot of luck in the game too. So you need to be prepared to just say, well, you know, it was just a bad day for the game, so I lost because it just beat me by randomness, and that's a part of the game too. So if you are into a lot of analysis and thinking 5 steps ahead, then maybe it's not a game for you. But the cuteness of the game, the heavy theme, the importance of the theme, and the overall gameplay is really, really good. So thumbs up from me. Great game. I've loved playing it. I will play it again. So until next time, thank you for watching. Bye bye.